Can we explain what Palantir is actually really significant for guys like me who grew up in the post 9/11 war? Can you explain what it is? Because I'm not really good at explaining what it is.
Yeah. So basically, when we started the company, we looked, and the U.S. government was spending almost $40 billion a year gathering data. And this data was in tens of thousands of different databases. And then meanwhile, our allies also had massive information. And there's actually over 1 million people whose job is to be some kind of analyst in the DoD and around the DoD. And most of these analysts do not have computer science degrees and by the way, didn't have access to most of this information because it all has different rules about who could touch what.
Oh my God.
And when you look at this, it was really clear, even with 9/11, that we could have stopped 9/11 if you'd had the data stitched together right with a person sitting in the middle with common sense who was allowed to look at it, allowed to query it, allowed to connect the dots. And just connecting those dots is very, very hard. You have to write a giant query. You have to get permission from the database. You have to go.
You can't even access it. I mean, the DoD can't talk to. I can't access what's in the State Department. And this is even still. I mean, it's
State Department's famously one of the hardest ones.
Well, yeah,
with too. But even the DoD can't talk to other things in the DoD, right?
Right. You got to be on like their Air Force network. And you're like, why?
There's like 1,000 different personnel databases. I mean, the whole thing's a mess. And so we said, imagine you have someone with a high school level education, but common sense, and they want to work together and they want to piece together what's going on, and you want to help them do this while not violating civil liberties. What technology would you create? And we'd had this challenge at PayPal where the Chinese and Russian mafia were stealing all of our money, and we figured out there how to build technology to equip our analysts. We made our customer service people, the smart ones, we made analysts, and it helped them. And we helped cut down the fraud enough to make PayPal profitable. We said, can we take that model of building better analytical tools, but can we adapt it to a much more complex information environment with, we call it dynamic ontologies. What that means is you can have any kinds of schema. So CIA might have one type of schema of how they look at the world. FBI might have another. MI5 might have another. And how do you make it so they can not only use this for their own way of looking at the world, but then can collaborate on each other's data? And that's a pretty hard technology problem.